LL Nation, what's good? Lucky Lefty Podcast. Brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. It's that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. And if you're going to drink, by all means, make sure that you do so. You
Responsibly.
got to do it responsibly. As you can see, I'm not solo tonight. The Onora boys are in the building. Left has made it back to the home spot out there on the left coast. Fantastic week. There's nothing like Super Bowl week. Well, I can say it again. If you ever have an opportunity to experience Super Bowl week, even if you don't go to the game, now going to the game is like next level. If you can find tickets to the game or find a way to get into the game, maybe sneak in with the performer carrying some crates or something. I don't know, old school like back in the day.
So there's one guy that gets in that sneaks into every Super Bowl. Like it's like a thing for
Absolutely.
him.
It's like a thing. It's like a thing.
Yeah.
But it's a fantastic week. But I had an opportunity to say what I had to say, but I didn't know the man. Here he stands, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some other concerns that Malik has based upon what's happened over the last couple of days. But
That's right.
Apple Podcast, Spotify, CFB Nation, in conjunction with Irish Breakdown, all of our great content. We appreciate you guys. You can leave 5 stars. You can leave your comments. We respond to all. It's the Lucky Lefty Podcast. You already know we spin it different. Notre Dame offensive line coach Harry Hiestand decided to retire. The news, like I said earlier today, kudos to Notre Dame public relations because they buried that bad fella at the halftime of the Super Bowl. Like they made it real hush hush. They kept down the hubbub and the noise that could surround it. And Harry Hiestand probably wanted it that way. Probably didn't want pomp and circumstance, but the statement he released, I have made the decision to retire. It is important to me to spend time with my family as I have 2 kids competing in college athletics, one for his last season, and I have decided it is time for me to be a part of that. I am thankful for the opportunity Father Jenkins, Jack Swarbrick, and especially Coach Freeman gave me to return for a 7th season, coaching the offensive line at Notre Dame. Coach Freeman sets the example for Notre Dame football every day, and he brings out the best in all of us. The players, especially the offensive line, are the best part of this great job, and I thank them for their hard work.
You hate to be happy for him because I am genuinely happy for the best, the greatest, the GOAT, non-head coach of Notre Dame of all time history. It's hard to be upset when he's left the resume he has and came back and did some more. So I mean, he's had his total loyalty to the development of the program. He's gave Kelly some of his best years. Uh, a lot of players that have been through that offensive line room and a high success rate out of that offensive line room. He's been the foundational piece to the success of why we're so consistent, having that offensive line competitive each and every week. And not only that, transferable skills that they can take and be all pros and Hall of Famers at the next level. So the man was legit. The man was legit. And, leaving Marcus Freeman at a time like this, I guess the when it rains, it pours. And if you're going to leave now, then you better make it now and not later because it's going to get greater later. But it changes a lot of my perspective of the season coming up, how important the offensive coordinator is going to be with that. And the direction of this offense, I think it teeters a lot now that you can't just go to sleep at night knowing that we're going to be able to at least do some things up front. Not that we won't be able to in the future, but I know for sure I can go to sleep good at night knowing Harry Hiestand running things.
That's a fair assessment, especially towards the end there. That's a question mark that you didn't expect to be there. And I talked about it a little bit earlier today. This wasn't something that came to the light over the weekend or the last couple of days. This is something that became evident the moment that Tommy Reese made his decision. That's when things started going. Marcus Freeman had a couple of conversations with Coach Hiestand, according to sources, to try and keep him on the staff. and Coach Hiestand pretty much said no. It's time for me to walk away, which lends me to believe that the only reason he was truly there is because of Tommy Reese.
He definitely had high praises for Tommy, but he definitely came to Notre Dame or back to Notre Dame because of Marcus Freeman and uh, his belief in him as a head coach. I think he got him a few more years than probably Harry expected. So I think Marcus Freeman, in combination with Tommy, probably squeezed out a few more years from Harry Hiestand. Uh, but I think he probably was on that David Shaw. Harry Hiestand has been on the recruiting trail, been dedicated on another level, passionate on another level to the game of football, and so to see him take a Tom Brady approach and be like, hey, like my kids is older, they only gonna be a senior once, and I got everything I got going on. Let me take this bow out before my wife bows out.
Yeah, Harry doesn't strike me as, or he strikes me as someone that does not like to be bothered or told how to do his job. He strikes me as someone that just likes to be left alone and given the opportunity to coach his guys the way he wants to coach his guys. And let me do my
Yeah,
thing.
he's definitely a guy that's going to stay out the way. He's not looking to catch all the fanfare. Like, remember Blake Fisher, when Blake Fisher was getting a lot of fanfare, he said, hey, let the guy play. There's a lot of things we got to work on. Yeah, he's good, but let me turn him great. And I think, only Harry Hiestand can curb the hype of an old lineman. The few times that they do have the hype.
Yeah.
And only he can curb it with the humbleness needed to keep him locked in and to continue to grow and get better like Blake Fisher has been. And so it's just crazy. And it definitely does affect the recruits in some way, but I think Chris Watt, if that's the replacement or if that's the next man in, he's been around Coach Hiestand long enough to at least have some of the few traits that Harry left and he can pick up off of.
Lucky Lefty podcast. Chris Watt, upon all reports, still sticks with the staff. And, you know, we'll see. But your point about, I actually think it's best that it went down this way. And I remember making a statement last week that things that are happening are actually happening for Notre Dame and not to Notre Dame. Like Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman, they're not victims because of the things that are happening with Tommy Reese and Harry Hiestand. This gives the new OC a level of comfortability to be able to bring in somebody that they have a relationship with and that they trust. As much as you respect Harry Hiestand and what he's been able to do, the incoming OC, you will probably feel better with somebody that they know and that they can trust at that position. So, and with the news, like I said, this ball started rolling when Tommy Reese made his decision.
No,
I'm
when
pretty sure.
James Laurinaitis made his decision, I think that was the domino
Well, I don't
because
think.
he
I
was the
think. I
first one
think
to leave,
James
right?
Laurinaitis. I think James Laurinaitis pretty much knew that he wanted to be on the whole Ohio State staff. They just didn't. They didn't for whatever reason didn't hire him last year, and his boy hooked him up. His boy hooked him up so he can get experience. So
Yeah,
I
I
never
think
felt like James Laurinaitis was about to be defensive coordinator or anything like that. That was never the vibe I got. Harry
now is
Hiestand
it
is an
possible
institution.
though? Have you seen this much turnover from a coaching staff in 1 year? Do you attribute that to the record or you attribute that to just the way things happen at Notre Dame? Because it is sort of unusual, but not unexpected from the sense that, I can understand Harry Hiestand's retirement. I can understand he's been given so much to it. So I just wonder what it involves.
Um, like I said, James Laurinaitis, that domino was something that anyone really close to it understood. The dude was doing sports radio in Columbus, afternoon drive, wanted to be into coaching in Ohio State, didn't make room for him. That's where he wanted to be. His boy gets the job in Notre Dame, and his boy says, "Look, he didn't bring him on as a coach. He brought him on as consultant to help
Yeah,
him out. Got him reps, got him experience, got him out on the recruiting trail, let him build up, cut his teeth. And then all of a sudden, when he starts to build up a name on the recruiting trail, all of a sudden Ryan Day has a spot for him. So that was really about Ryan Day and Ohio State playing James Laurinaitis for a full year. But James
yeah,
Laurinaitis, his heart was never at Notre Dame. Like, no, he didn't. That I was never fooled into thinking that James Laurinaitis' heart was at Notre Dame. Like, no, his boy hooked him up. Boy
yeah. And
hooked
I
him
think
up.
it is. It boy definitely hooked him up, but I thought he was gonna give us at least 1 or 2 more years. Just on a cutting your teeth, you need a couple years of experience at at that GA position or whatever position just to get your feet wet. But when you're a successful on the rise program like Notre Dame is, these other programs ain't cutting us no slack. They come in and seeing the potential the same as we are, and they're just executing on it. And I think that's a part of what happens as a rotation at the Notre Dame football team. But it also leaves more opportunity for Coach Freeman to expand his coaching prowess and
Mm,
fill in spots where they're most needed most.
yeah, I I can agree with that. I can agree with that. And if you move the domino, that was Tommy Reese. Man, we know what Tommy Reese was, dude. Tommy Reese was two faced from the time he came back to Notre Dame. He was two faced. Like he
He
never
was
wanted to be here.
coaching with a chip on his shoulder or
He
something.
was waiting for the opportunity, the right opportunity to leave. It is what it is. And that's not throwing shade at him. That's his actions. His actions showed that. So you don't have to be upset with what I'm saying. His actions showed that he didn't want to be here.
Well,
That's
he's no different than Ryan Day. When you born on third base, you always gonna be looking for something better. He didn't go through no grueling interview process to be the offensive coordinator at Notre Dame. It was a phone call.
yeah.
So you can only imagine the value he's treating the position because he's like, man, I ain't even apply here. So just imagine if I applied myself to a different program that I'm not tied to what it could
Mm,
look like, aka Alabama, obviously.
yeah.
But he was born with the Mercedes Benz in the garage. So he's looking for Lamborghinis, Bentleys, Porsches, because he already got these. I got the Mercedes as my starter car. What?
Yeah.
I'm already thinking bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. Ah man,
Unfortunately, but
so
this goes to show. Go ahead.
what's your gut feeling right now? You said this last week. Remember we had a conversation this weekend. Like we can go ahead and reveal one of our private conversations from over the weekend. We were talking about things, and this was before Harry Hiestand was released. We were talking about all the dominoes in the NFL that were going to fall once the Super Bowl ended. Like, as soon as the Super Bowl is done, NFL business is open, and you're going to have a lot of assistant positions opening up, a lot of people moving. And we were talking about Al Golden and how more than likely Al Golden is going to be interviewing for one of those jobs and can likely leave. And your response to me when we started discussing that was, man, this is a lot of movement, man. This is a lot of movement. And you definitely voiced concern over that. And, that's understandable. Like, I've never been part of a team that had to deal with, I pointed this out earlier today. When Tommy left, we saw, whether good or bad, we saw players react on social media, right? And then we saw former players throw flowers to Tommy, his teammates. When Harry left and it was announced, it was almost silence.
Mm,
It was
mm.
almost silence. I think Logan Diggs said something, and then Blake Fisher like retweeted it. But I didn't see any offensive linemen like, man, coach. It was like, okay,
But Harry Houston is the perfect example of a. It's like when you uh ship see the ship leave from the dock. it's like you're not necessarily happy or sad. It's like it's just that time of the year. It's that time of the day. It just has to leave the dock.
Yeah.
And I think Coach Harry Hiestand has left so much of a wealth of knowledge in those guys from just a programming standpoint that those guys know how to continue to, take what they've learned from Coach Hiestand and build on it, because Coach Hiestand wouldn't be if it wasn't Coach Hiestand, it was another coach. Coach Hiestand would continue like it's day to day. And I think that's something of what the players' mentality is in that offensive line room. I'm sure it hasn't hit a lot of guys yet because it didn't hit me until, it was a random, the Super Bowl's going on and you're seeing all this, and it's just it's kind of in the fanfare thing, so it kind of gets washed by. But
Yeah.
it's one of the more impactful things that's happened in Notre Dame in the last few years.
Yeah. This is an interesting question. And this goes back to Tim B says 90 yards rushing versus USC. Where was Harry then? Tim, look, man, you know how I feel. This is sports, man. I don't look at coaches, bro. Especially when it gets to a certain point. Like, dude, you're a grown man out on that field when you're 20, 21. At that point, you've been in the program 2, 3 years. I'm not looking at Harry Hiestand. That's your job. You miss an assignment, that's on you. Because I know you've been
Yeah.
taught. It's no different than a teacher.
And that's what he's going to yell about.
Absolutely. No different than a teacher that prepares you for a test. If you get the answer wrong, it's not the teacher's fault.
You can't blame the teacher.
You can't blame the teacher. You can't blame the teacher.
Those
You
be
blame,
the greatest excuses.
you can blame Tommy for those terrible calls on fourth down. You can blame that.
Yeah. That's like the teacher switching the answers or the questions on the same test day.
Right. And
Number
Harry
4 ain't number 4
Hiestand,
from yesterday.
Harry Hiestand is not telling Tommy, give Chris Tyree the ball on the inside.
Yeah, no.
He doesn't control which running backs go in. He controls the blocking.
Or he controls the blocking.
He controls the blocking.
And out of all our games last year, I don't think anybody was thinking, oh, we're going to have a D line we got to be aware of.
Dude.
Not one. Just think about that as a Notre Dame fan, where you're looking at the season and being like, if we're losing, it's not because of the other team's D line. When we were going up against Clemson, we wasn't caring about nothing about their D line. It was, man, they better hope they can stop our run. Even Ohio State. Our points about Ohio State had nothing to do with the O-line, D-line. It was secondary. We talk about linebackers. Because we knew if anything we going into that game with, that offensive line going to be right. That type of confidence and foundation is what makes Marcus Freeman feel so comfortable going in recruiting and saying we can go get it done. It's the pieces around the program that make it change.
Man, look. It's one of those things where the loss, because of the legacy, hurts. But in the reality, I'll give you a great example. The tackle that had your boy Pat Mahomes limping yesterday, it hurt, right? Because your man slapped the injured area. So it stung. There was no damage. It wasn't like he twisted it real bad again, but it hurt. And once Pat got over the hurt, the reality was he could still go out and rock. He could still go out and perform. And it's the same thing with this Harry Hiestand thing. It hurts. It hurts. It's almost like
it hurts on the level of not slapping the ankle or the knee of Patrick Mahomes. It hurts like 50 Cent getting shot 9 times and surviving.
Nah, you going way too far. You're going way too far now. Come on now. This is not get rich or die trying. The Notre Dame.
That's what it feels like. That's the type of pain we talking about. Like
Marcus Freeman is going to come out to the media with a bulletproof vest on, huh? An Under Armour bulletproof vest to meet the media to talk about these new hires. Oh, you are crazy,
He's
boy.
gonna say that's the pain it felt like with Harry Hiestand retiring. It was unexpected, and it cut deep. This is not no
No.
paper cut. This
See,
is a deep cut to a
Tommy Reese was the high ankle sprain. Tommy Reese was
okay
the high ankle sprain, and then
that you
Harry
can ice and get
Hiestand,
better.
right? And then Harry Hiestand was the tackle that happened on Pat Mahomes. It stung and it stings and it hurts, but the reality is you're still in the
Or
game.
maybe like Dion's toe.
The reality is you still have Blake Fish and you still have Joe Alt, you still have Zeke Correll. You still have three really good players on the offensive line. You still have Sam Hartman as your quarterback. You still have the best running back room in college football. Like, as much as we want to talk about Harry Hiestand being gone, the reality is Notre Dame's okay.
Yes,
It's going to
that's
sting a
the
little bit.
reality.
That's the reality. Notre Dame's okay. Notre Dame's okay.
I mean,
So
see,
it
we're
hurts.
okay for the short term, but because we go from a Harry Hiestand to Kane Madden real fast. That's the 50 Cent pain
Yeah.
because we'll come out strong. I'm sure
You sticking with this 50 Cent story,
because it didn't feel like that with Kane Madden in the last offensive line coach.
First of all, Kane
Just
Madden
don't
was
know what
horrible talent. Stop. Kane
Harry
Madden was
Hiestand contributed.
untalented.
Harry
He was not
Hiestand
talented.
contributed to
You
recruiting.
just made me say a
Harry Hiestand would have never let
non-word.
Kane Madden lace up his knee braces to go practice with him. That would have never happened under Harry Hiestand. The things we accept after he leaves, that's the bullet wounds that get deeper.
We're still talking bullet wounds, man.
But I do think the man Marcus Freeman from that 937, he's got some tricks up his sleeves. You know who is very similar to? The guy up north.
What guy?
That LeBron James, the all-time greatest leading scorer that knows how to turn Campbell's chicken soup into chicken gumbo.
Lucky Lefty Podcast,
Chicken
Apple
soup, chicken
Podcasts,
gumbo.
Spotify, CFB Nation in conjunction with Irish Breakdown. All the great content. It's the Lucky Lefty Podcast. You already know we spin it different. I think early, I don't know, I'm bugging. Earlier, I mentioned that Chris Watt was, I meant to say Chris Watt could be someone that could come back and be a part of the staff.
Hiestand and Chris Watt's personality are so different.
The crazy thing is, Trevor Mendelson, who did a lot of work with the offensive line recruiting before Harry came back officially, now he has gone on and taken another job. So there's a lot of not just hiring, up top with the coaches. There's going to be a lot of turnover at the consultant, analyst, GA level as well. So, we'll see. I still believe all of this is happening for good reasons for Notre Dame. That's my opinion. Like, look, I'm cool. I'm cool with it.
I'm cool because these are all coaches that have been there before. These are guys that have been around the program a good amount, familiar with Notre Dame to where it's just a transition period. Now, if this was Mike Mickens leaving for Alabama, I'd be like, damn. that'll hurt in a different way,
Okay, so a quick announcement. We might do 3 shows tonight, bro. We might do 3 shows tonight. We'll end this show, and then around 8:15 Mountain Time, which is 9:15 my time, Josh Newman, beat reporter for the Salt Lake Tribune, who covers the Utah Utes, he's going to join us for about 20 minutes to talk about Andy Ludwig and give us the inside track from the Utah side on Andy Ludwig. So, you think we should go live, or do you think we should just record it and play it tomorrow? I already know what Lucky Lefty's going to say. I already know what LL Nation is going to say. What do you think, Left? You think we should just record it and play it tomorrow?
We should definitely record it and play it tomorrow because it's gonna be some heavy hitters. You might need to edit it first.
Lucky Lefty podcast. So, once again, Harry Hiestand, no longer the offensive line coach at Notre Dame, has chosen to retire. And in his retirement, head coach Marcus Freeman did have words. He said, I want to personally thank Coach Hiestand for coming out of retirement from our first year as a head coach and raising the standard, not only for our offensive line, but for our entire team. Dick Corbett, head coach Marcus Freeman. Those are his statements. Part of them concerning Harry Hiestand. Everybody's like, go live, go live. Oh man. 10:15 is a little late. But we definitely have to get the interview when we can get the interview. So
Definitely. We'll get it done.
Lucky Lefty podcast. Hey Left. Um, we got some things to talk about, bro. We just talked Harry Hiestand. I'll let you hear from the freshman and Thomas Harper and what they had to say over the weekend to get your feedback. But anything you want to say? Anything you would like to say? Anything you got to get off?
Man,
your
I had
chest?
to speak on Hiestand specifically, but I think the Andy Ludwig thing is going to be a little more in depth, just from a psychological standpoint. We're getting psychological when we're doing our job hires, especially at Notre Dame, because we get them degrees and we put them to use because it's deeper than just a job hire. We got to get the right fit, the right philosophy, and Andy Ludwig is direction that Marcus Freeman is headed. And the guys that we lost, I don't think they would have been on the same page.
That's nice. That's not what I'm talking about, though. Is there anything you want to say? Is there anything you need to say?
Super Bowl was great.
Mm.
Patrick Mahomes, man, I think, throwing for 93 yards in the second half is real crazy. But to do it in 5 years, you got 2 Super Bowl MVPs, 2 championships, 3 MVPs of the league. You might be runner up to Michael Vick, so it's all good.
72 of 100, 703 yards passing, 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions for the playoffs on one leg.
I mean, he's making it look way too easy. Just wait till Lamar Jackson comes back. They pay him that money. You're gonna see a real all-star soon. See, they paid Josh Allen too early, and then now they gotta cover it with media to build it up. You know what I mean? But he's not worth the money. But the AFC though, the 10 best quarterbacks are in the AFC right now.
No, the best quarterback is in the AFC.
Okay, he's a part of that.
No. But he is that. The best quarterback is in the AFC, and then there's some other ones. There are some other ones in the AFC.
Well, I would like to see Patrick Mahomes in different circumstances before we just start crowning guys.
Different circumstances. What else you want?
Let's not have an all-time Hall of Fame best tight end ever to play that you threw to the entire game. Let's talk about that. You got arguably the most loved head coach of all time.
You just ignoring the fact that Juju Schuster was killing in the second half, right?
I guess that. When's the
hold on, wait a minute. You just ignoring that, right? You just ignoring that Kadarius Toney came over for a fourth round pick and just
shout out to KT, my teammate at Florida. I knew he was a beast. I knew he was a first rounder when I was at Florida. And to see him make the big kick, the punt return, score a touchdown, it's like, duh, I knew it. So shout out. If anybody I'm happy for, KT, I'm the happiest for. That's my guy.
The Giants didn't know it though.
Listen, look, I could have told you that he wasn't going to work out at the Giants. I could have told you that. Once he got drafted to the Giants, I'm like, I wonder what his next team would be. And he just happened to fall upwards to a Super Bowl team. That's a great story. But KT definitely.
Did you expect Sky Moore to catch a touchdown yesterday?
Sky Moore looked good, but you talking about aspects of the team that are making plays because the ball goes everywhere. There's not too many offenses like that. I mean, it is in Cincinnati though. It looks like that in Cincinnati. That's why they there every year.
Oh, you mean at home watching?
Playing games at the end of the season late when it matters.
Well, I'm talking about like on Super Bowl Sunday. That's why they're at the crib watching.
Listen, everybody that in on it knows that the Eagles secondary was just a matter of time. Brandon Ayuk literally said, I will go down the street to the bank, put my entire savings and my house on Kansas City to win.
Yeah, because he like I said, and like others said, look, I said, and people thought I was crazy. Where's our guy at Benny? Our guy Benny that's on every day. That was talking about how the Eagles were going to run through Kansas City easily all week. Look, I saw Dak Prescott put up 40 on this defense, bro.
Don't do Dak like that.
Wait a minute. I'm actually throwing flowers to Dak.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying. When I saw Dak Prescott put up 40, I was like, oh, this back end, they're not it. That's not it. I said this as well, bro. At some point, the way the game is played, if you have the right coach and the right quarterback, it's hard to beat teams, man. It's hard to beat teams, bro. In the game of football, when you have a good coach and a great quarterback, it makes it really hard to beat that team.
See, we should do that. We should make a checklist of what a good coach is. And then if that checklist matches up with the QB coach comparison, I think we'll have a good identifier if our own coaches are good for the situation. But you got the best head coach with the best quarterback, and then you throw Eric Bieniemy in there, give him a little bit of credit. It's hard too, but hey, he was there too. That's a three-headed monster that's hard to deal with week in and week out, or for one game. You know, it's not like a series. It's a one-game experience.
I have a stat for you, bro. And this is bananas when I heard this. You guess the top 3 teams in the NFL with rookies that played the most snaps.
Kansas City, New Orleans, and the Browns, maybe?
The top 3 teams with the most snaps played by rookies this season. The Chicago Bears, the Houston Texans,
here we go,
and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chicago Bears and the Houston Texans are number 1 and 2 in the NFL draft. The Kansas City Chiefs just won the Super Bowl. Think about that, bro. Think about
that's caveated though.
That's caveated. It goes to our point. It goes to our point when you have a great coach and a great quarterback, man.
It don't matter.
You can get away with some things. You can get away with some things.
Hey, but you saw what they said though. They said this is the biggest Bears draft in maybe a decade.
Bro, let me tell you something. And I put Bears fans, I put all Bears fans on the petty train. Chicago Bears fans didn't give a dang about that Super Bowl yesterday.
No,
I was at a Super Bowl party. I'm talking about in the middle of the fourth quarter when the game was in the balance. Middle of the fourth quarter, there was a conversation, an argument going on about Jalen Carter and
In
Will
the back.
Anderson. Yes, the game is on the line. Bears fans didn't give a darn who won that game yesterday. They didn't care, dude. They did not care. They were like, man,
They're ready for
whatever.
that pick to happen.
Dude,
Yeah,
let's get to this
pick
pick.
come down.
It was crazy. I'm like, you can't even enjoy the moment. You can have this argument an hour from now.
And this is one of the best Super Bowls played in a long time.
In a long time. And that's on a bad field.
You talking about the 80,000 they spent on that field? That was
800, whoa, 800,000.
Oh.
800,000. 800,000. It took 2 years to grow. That 800,000, boy, you could have sent that down to Mexico and then flipped that if you're trying to grow some grass or grow some herbs.
Yeah, you can grow something for 800.
Right. That's a bad investment, NFL. You spent that much money to grow something and got that? Man, that's horrible. You could have grown something legally out there in California and made a whole lot of money for the same amount of investment.
Hey, say for your price for the price. Yeah, you could have, man. You could have really did something with that.
Boy, you could have put that 800,000 into a nice strand out there in California. Man,
so it goes back to, okay, what's worse, a field like that or the AstroTurf? You know, it's like, good grief, both of them aren't serviceable. You're growing grass for 2 years or you lay asphalt down. Neither one is good.
Man, it was crazy, bro. It was crazy.
So the Bear fans are really, really ready for this first pick of the draft. Because y'all got 2 number ones, right?
Wait, bro, look at this. Hard foundation. All I care about is who we drafting. They when I tell you they didn't give a darn about yesterday's Super Bowl at all.
No.
I was in the midst of them. I'm telling you, the conversation was like, yo, what's going on? Yeah, man, that commercial was horrible. What's up with Justin Fields, though? See, what we need to do, this is during the game.
What they need to do, yeah. You must have went to the Bears draft analyst party. The draft Super Bowl party where they are totally analyzing the draft.
No, that was
as
just
the game is going on.
Like, they didn't even have a pick. Like, you know, you go around the room before the game starts to see if you want to bet somebody. Like, who you got? Who you got? Man, I don't care.
They're like, look.
I don't care.
Season is over.
I'm just here to watch, man. I'm just here for the food.
Yeah. Yeah. There was some very good catered events out there. Shout out to the catered events during Super Bowl. A lot of thought went into the design. Did you see the one that spilt over? The Eagles Stadium one? They put all that food in that little thing, man. Just to order pizza. Because, you know, flipped it over.
Dude.
You see the Eagles fan destroy the TV?
Joe Papiti said, my girl just said that was dollar store grass. Look, man. Look, let's get some of these questions right now, Left. Because we're going to talk about these young men that we met. Indy for life. Harry should have just left at the same time as Tommy. Yeah.
I think that's true if he was thinking like Tommy.
Yeah. Super chat. My guy Matt, 2011 GT. We went 9-4. Turnover is okay as long as we improve. Now, that's a good point. You went 9-4 to what you had. I would rather improve the talent and lose a few coaches than to keep the coaches and have the talent pretty much stay the same. Like, if you told me that Drew Plum is going to be my quarterback, but I can keep Tommy, no. Tommy can go. Tommy can go.
Yeah. Tommy can go.
To Worker, thank you for the super chat. Should we be concerned that Tyler might leave after spring practice? How possible? Left. Your thoughts on that?
Not having well, I mean, it would make it easier for this season. It would just make it easier for this season. Hopefully, Kenny or Steve will be ready as a backup, and somebody's gonna have to be ready for the year after, and that's still gonna be the question. We're answering that question this year and next year if Tyler is a leaver.
Yeah, I agree with that. I rock with that. Adam Ziliak, thanks for tapping in. Shaun and Luck, do you see Notre Dame letting the new OC bring in an analyst, sort of how Freeman brought Chad Bowden? I mean, Luck, if you the new OC, I'm pretty sure you would want somebody charting things and giving you the metrics and numbers.
Yeah, I think if anything, man, just find the most help you can. You know, it's like studying for a project. You want to get all gather all the information before you start working on the actual project. So if we need analysts, if we need an extra QB coach, if we need some guys walking around with some good advice, I
Hmm.
mean, for this year specifically, yeah, we still are expected to win at a high level, but Marcus Freeman is still in a way figuring it out. I mean, this is year two, and he's going in with a different set of circumstances, and I think it's just going to be one of those times.
And Tim B, who should the Bears pick according to LL? This is interesting because Malik hit me up about this Saturday. Um, I would take one pick inside the top 10 if I was the Bears. If I were the Bears, I think someone said it in chat. I would, man. I'm trading the number one pick. I'm not taking either one of those defensive guys at number one. I'm trading the number one pick. And if somebody else gives me a nice deal to trade back a second time and I can pick up and end up with 3 first round picks, I'm dude. Because the Bears need a lot. They need a lot.
So you're saying the first round isn't as valuable, or first pick of the draft wouldn't be as valuable as trying to get three more picks of that first round.
If you told me that I have to leverage getting Jalen Carter or Will Anderson at number one over building up the team in free agency and with more picks in the first round, I'm taking more picks and more players over one guy. That's how bad the
Mm.
Bears are. That's how bad they are. That's
So
how bad they are.
you looking at just stack players to be like, let's just
Man,
get a bunch in, and then we'll
man,
see which ones fall through the cracks.
man. Right?
But you're
Because
not trying
that's
to pay Justin Fields money to one dude to have a Khalil Mack type of season.
no. See, that's why I choose the latter because Justin Fields is about to get paid in 2 years.
Provided he plays good this year.
Yeah, I don't have 2, 3 drafts to get things right. I need to give him the opportunity to be good. I need to find out if he's good. And in order to do that, I need to put more pieces around him. And the more
That's right.
pieces I can get around him in free agency in the draft, the better opportunity I get to see who he is as a quarterback. The Bears have to feel encouraged, right? They just watched. There is nothing that Jalen Hurts did yesterday that Justin Fields can't do. Nothing.
Oh, one, yeah, not one, not one,
There's
not one,
absolutely nothing that Jalen Hurts
nothing.
did yesterday that Justin Fields can't do with the right pieces around him, the right offensive line, and the right coaching, man. There's nothing he can't do. He
I
has the
mean,
potential,
Jalen Hurts opened the door for a guy like Justin Fields to have
man.
real value in the league, provided they
100,
get a coach.
100, 100. Absolutely.
So I'm
Absolutely. And
expecting Deshaun Watson to be great next year. Justin Fields to be great next year. I think it'll be a little harder for Jalen next year, just because
man,
I think if he won, it would still
I think they
continue.
have 2 first round picks though.
Mm.
The Eagles have 2 first round picks. They just have a lot of
Eagles
decisions.
are a, Eagles are a low key
Do you give Jalen his money
franchise.
now, or do you wait another year?
Because of where he's at in Chicago, I feel like they're going to wait it out. I just think they're just going to wait until he shows sign of messing up,
Hmm.
and then they'll Lamar Jackson even try to franchise tag him. That's my my unfortunate. I don't hope it happens, but I can kind of see it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if that was the case, then after this year, in my opinion, what they should do after this year, they should pay him. Because that's what they did to Josh. They paid Josh, and he was what? Middle of the road still.
Yeah.
I'm using
Yeah.
everything to Josh Allen.
Yeah. You
They
do.
paid Jared Goff an extension, and he came. Well, he did come off a Super Bowl, but they ain't even, you know, question his contribution to the team. And he had Aaron Donald and all that going on. Todd Gurley, strong running game, recipe to success. And they paid him without even blinking. They paid Carson Wentz on a 14-2 season. He didn't even finish the season. They couldn't wait to give him his bread. So I hope they would treat Jalen like that. Now, Jeff Lurie did say that Jalen is the quarterback of the future. They love what they got with him. But let's see if you love it in that checkbook. Justin Fields, on the other hand, man, you got so much rotation in that front office. Are you going to trust you're going to be there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because all it takes is a bad draft for them people that just came in to be right back out. Because y'all can't afford another season like last year.
I
Not
don't
with
think
that.
it.
Not with that new stadium coming in town. They're gonna want to fill that thing up.
Hey, look,
You better bring some AI, some Michael Jordan, some.
Joe Papiti said Jalen is willing to do a deal that allows flexibility for the Eagles to get other pieces.
If I
What's
was
that?
him, I'm doing
Wait a
the
minute. This is
same
the
thing.
crazy thing, dude. That's 40 million still. Jalen Hurts is dude. If you talk about the market is 50, they're talking about giving Dak Prescott 50 on an extension left. 50.
He did win
50.
Man of the Year. You know,
50.
Jalen Hurts would probably get he'll probably get 35, 40.
Dude, if Jalen Hurts, listen to me. I don't care what these people are talking about. Hey, man, obviously we saw yesterday that you are pretty much the offense for the Philadelphia Eagles. That's your value. That's your worth. They know that. Do not take less than 40 million. If they slide
Shoot
you
towards that
anything
Lamar
less than
number.
40 million and close to 250 million guaranteed, bounce.
And then I would go in there. You know what I would do? I'd go in there and show them Gardner Minshew's tape.
Exactly.
But look what y'all look like. Look what y'all look like without me. Throwing picks, losing to Dallas, all type of crazy. You say y'all better pay me because y'all don't want to put Gardner Minshew back in there and have the
Yeah.
Eagles fans booing him and
Yeah.
booing you for not
Yeah.
paying me. I thank Gardner Minshew for them little 2 games of terribleness,
Yeah.
the mediocrity, because that's gonna get me paid. And then he messed around and played good in the Super Bowl. He outplayed
Man,
Patrick Mahomes.
dude, yo, he played incredible. He
Man,
played
all them
incredible.
QB sneaks, making plays when it mattered. I mean, he was dealing. But that goes to show what confidence looks like. Man, he was playing like he was the $500 million man.
And the crazy thing is, this is the crazy thing. We are in, I think, year 2 of Patrick Mahomes' extension. In 2 years, his contract will be like a bargain because the Chiefs did it early. In 2 years. Like if he wins another one, and then it's a bargain in 2 more years, and they can actually go out and get more talent, bro. Like the potential for the Chiefs to just go on a run right now is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
So much success in 5 years. I mean, unless something tragic happened, I don't see it slowing down either.
And so
So
yeah, it's
yeah.
funny because in the chat they're talking about Andy Ludwig. They're talking about Andy Ludwig and his buyout at Utah. Look, man, this is Notre Dame. I don't care what his buyout is. That's chump change. There's a Notre Dame alum walking around with that
Hey, we can find some money now. We got a lot of couches in these Notre Dame alumni houses that got some pocket change in it. That
It's
pocket
crazy,
change can
bro.
change can pay up a couple mortgages with the pocket change
It's crazy.
in the couches of some of these alumni.
I think the next thing the Chiefs have to sign Chris Jones. They have to extend him, but that's really the only deal. Guys like Frank Clark eventually, and shout out to Frank Clark. Shout out to Frank Clark. I did not know, and this goes back to you never know what people are dealing with when you're watching them play. Had no clue that during the week leading up to the game that Frank Clark lost his dad. And if you haven't had an opportunity to see his interview on the field after the game with Schrags from the NFL Network, man, yo, having a grown man there weeping, saying, "Man, I just wish he could have just been alive to just watch me today." And to have to deal with that in preparation and go out there, yo, like you just never know. You just never know.
Yeah, that's tough stuff, man.
You just
Damn.
never know. And that's why I have a lot of empathy for guys because you never know what's going on in their personal lives. I know we see them as heroes and Herculean athletes and the performances that they put forth. We root for them and our emotions go up and down with them. But at the end of the day, they're human beings and you never know what they're going through. Now, this man, 3-4 days before the Super Bowl, gets a call like, man, dad is gone.
Damn.
And so our prayers to Frank Clark, our prayers to his family. And this man just won a Super Bowl. Now he's got to go bury his father.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't even know if I'm sure he celebrated last night.
But he
But
probably was a mess, man.
yeah, absolutely.
It probably hurt worse winning.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's
One of
why,
the rare times.
bro, you know how it is for us chocolate brothers, man. Like, when we start crying, it looks like we just sweating a lot on our face. It just stands out on our face, bro. And that's how he looked. He just finished the game. He had perspiration on his forehead. He
You
had
can tell the
tears.
sweat from the tears for sure.
Dude, he looked like he had Vaseline all over his face with confetti coming down. It was crazy. And it was
You would
just
have thought
like,
it was raining if you turned the sound off or something. The way he was making it just so, you like, damn, man, is this a sad movie or the Super Bowl, man? It's crazy.
And that's something the team has to deal with
Because
immediately.
you go in there hype, and then you see your man's, you like,
You
I
see
don't
your
know how to
man in the
respond.
corner, right?
Just
Right.
balling.
Right. And then the full organization, I'm sure, is going to go to the services
Yeah. I
to
mean,
support. So,
it's a
man,
lot.
that's why I always say love on especially the people around you, man. Because you just never know. Life is way too short. It's way too short. Lucky Lefty podcast. We have a couple more super chats. Let's see. Tim B, we answered that question. Connor Nepper said Jagasaw gonna be all right. Connor, let me know what you're referring to.
I think he says Hiestand leaving.
Oh, yeah. If you're talking about that, yeah. Robert Jaworski, thank you for the super chat. Good show. Do you think Andy Heck will lead the Chiefs? For Notre Dame? Why wouldn't he? I mean, it's Notre Dame. If Notre Dame called Andy Heck, he would listen. Yeah, I think he would listen. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for the super chat, Joe. Great show, and you guys chop it up like no other. So Ludwig made a little over 800K last year. Money shouldn't be an issue. Hire Ludwig now. Got to change the narrative. Man, if he only made 800K last year, he's definitely getting a bump up in salary at Notre Dame.
He's leaving because of salary issues at that point.
800K. It's professors, man. It's professors at Notre Dame making 800K, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure. Our strength coaches, Bayless, is making more than that. Get that
Man,
man any luck with some respect, man.
800K. Truman Dumel, thank you for 2 super chats. How are the best candidates to replace Hiestand and also Golden if that happens? Maybe you meant who? Who are the best candidates? Um, Andy Heck will be a great one. And I think, honestly, I think that's going to be a conversation between Marcus Freeman and the offensive coordinator hire. I think that becomes part of the process, you know, and the interview process. So I think it'll be a joint effort. Ultimately, Marcus Freeman will make the final decision, but I would give the new OC that liberty to bring in his
Show some
offensive
love
line
now.
coach.
We gotta show some love now. We got some money opening up.
Absolutely. Another super chat. Hopefully, we can get Byron Leftwich. And P.S. My Jets looking good if we get Lamar Jackson. Hey, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, man, if the Jets get a quarterback, they should be all good without question. All they need is a quarterback. I agree. I agree. Your Jets will be all good. So, thank you everybody for your comments. Left freshman met with the media along with grad transfers, and one of those grad transfers was a guest on our show, Thomas Harper, nickel free safety. We had fun talking to him. He had yet to get on campus, and he was waiting to get on campus. We gave him some nice food spots to hit up while he was there. But he talked about adjusting to Notre Dame, bro. I had to throw him on the petty train earlier. And let me see if you agree. This Thomas Harper, man.
It's definitely a lot. I mean, you have to go to class here, and it's. I mean, you're gonna earn the degree, and I mean, I kind of appreciate that. And then as far as football, weight room wise, it's just a different type of a lift, a different type of strategy, I guess, when it comes to working out and lifting, and I think it'll be beneficial for me being on both sides of the fence and having had both types of training. It's definitely a lot. I mean, you have to go to class here, and it's. I mean, you're gonna earn the degree, and I mean, I kind of appreciate that. And then as far as football, weight room wise, it's just a different type of a lift, a different type of strategy, I guess, when it comes to working out and lifting, and I think it'll be beneficial for me being on both sides of the fence and having had both types of training.
Yo, he didn't have to throw.
Hey, it's not for everybody. The man said, "Oh, you have to be a student athlete for real here. Student first. You gotta." It was so much of a slip. He went from, "Oh, you gotta go to class," to it really meaning you gotta earn this scholarship. He said, "Oh, you just don't get handed a certificate when you walk out. It's like you gotta actually go to the class and learn something, apply yourself, and then you go earn that degree." So I can appreciate that. I work for it. And then he was like, the weight room. He said, I wasn't used to really making tackles because we didn't lift that much in the Big 12. He said, we got some different methods of doing it. Yeah, welcome to a real program. That's what you get. That's where you at. That's where you at, a real program. All around. Wholesome.
You could tell that Hart was like, first day of class was like, you know what? I don't feel like going, man. I don't feel like going. And he got a call like 2 minutes after class supposed to start from somebody in the office like, yo,
you
why you
good?
not in class? He's like, oh
He like,
man.
Coach,
Like
he's like, Coach, what you mean?
right.
Coach, I'm a fifth year. What you? He's like, look, man, you still got to go to school like the rest of us. The GA be like, man, where you at? Because you supposed to be in class with me. And Marcus Freeman said this will happen, so I got to be your first week guide of the school. Let you know, yeah, we really go to school here.
Dude. He was like, wait a minute, y'all actually check attendance?
He definitely went to that locker room and everybody about to go to class. He said, wait, where y'all go? Y'all actually go? And the locker room got empty real quick, and he was standing there with his fresh book bag in his hand. Everybody left him. They said, I got class, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. He like, all of y'all going somewhere? Oh man, y'all gotta earn y'all thing around here. Hey, that's just a perfect example you should play for all transfers in the future. This ain't for everybody. You're gonna be surprised that we actually require you to do the student athlete things that you signed for. Because it's more than just winning. Winning ain't even good enough at Notre Dame, unfortunately. You damn near got to win the championship. Anything other than a championship, it's like,
Yeah,
man, you
right.
better go to class.
To get respect on that campus, yeah, you definitely have to get like, oh, y'all went 10-2? Like, man, all right. These
I ain't
books
giving you
though.
my homework.
These books though, right? Right.
So you definitely got to bring your share to the potluck if you want any chance of you're gonna get that full experience. Once you get in, you're getting a full experience. Now, whether you're ready for it is a whole nother thing. So, I'm telling you, Marcus Freeman knows who he's recruiting, and the guys that don't know about to know. And for the first week for Thomas Harper to just be so honest, I think he wasn't really expecting the first week to be for real.
He's like, yeah. I mean, you gonna earn that. You gonna earn that degree here. Like,
He said, "You're gonna live, and you're gonna earn that degree." And that's the two things I did not know was as
man.
advertised in that brochure. I skipped through that. I got to seeing 10 wins and got excited. I didn't know that to get 10 wins, you got to go to class. Who knew that?
He walked in for some extra lifts, and the attendants for the gym were like, the gym is off limits for the next 2 hours. Like, everybody's in
Yeah,
class.
dude, we got you supposed to be and it's funny because all the coaches on the same page. So they all looking like, why am I looking at you in here? I shouldn't be seeing you right here.
Oh man.
So that's Notre Dame for you. So what a great story.
Oh man, that was the best. Absolutely. So I have coined the phrase John the Baptist because Jean Baptiste, the transfer from Ohio State, I fully expect him to baptize quarterbacks all year long. So left, I call him John the Baptist, and he spoke to
Yeah,
the
he better
media.
definitely be. He better be John the Baptist out there baptizing people
Man,
because it's we need an electric force on that D line. And bringing a guy from Ohio State, you're gonna have expectations. I know Marcus Freeman's gonna have expectations. So don't come over here, being another guy because that's not what we need.
Tim B said he might be Lindsay 2.0.
Hey, that first interview was a good one too.
Yeah, boy,
You got to keep
man.
it
Yo,
out.
True with Jamel with another one. How can we prevent another Peyton Bourne situation with Hiestand and Reese leaving? Scenarios with Kirby Lambert. I mean, look,
I
can
think
I?
Peyton Bowen was
Peyton
just
Bourne
led wrong.
Peyton Bourne was a liar. And if Gerby Lambert's a liar, there's nothing you can do about that. There's nothing you can do about people lying. Like, I'm tired of talking about that situation. Peyton Bourne is a flat out liar. He's a flat out liar. He probably learned it from his pops, who was leading the charge the whole time. He's a liar. That's it. We're done. I'm done with that. Hey, I had to go all the way. He's a liar. And I hate to say that about a young man, but he's a liar.
He
He
just
lied
lied.
to
He's just
everybody.
lying.
He lied to everybody involved. Everybody. He's a liar. Period.
Just lying.
Nothing else to be said, dude. And so I can't even put that. That has nothing to do with who's coaching. That's just who he is. Joe Papiti, thank you for super chat. But wait, imagine actually being in class and being like, what in the actual hell are they talking about? Thomas Harper, man. Thomas Harper's probably like, wait a minute, even the classes are different here. Like,
He said, I haven't seen this real class setting since freshman year, since my first big game at Oklahoma State. I haven't seen a classroom since my first big game at Oklahoma State, and I didn't expect to go back.
man, that's crazy. That's crazy. That Thomas Harper situation is wild. So my boy Christian Gray, freshman defensive back, left. He talked about his playing weight. Now this is funny. This is funny. Check it out.
I want to get to 190, but in the weight room they got me at 180 right now for my weight goal.
Christian, I know you've only been here a month, but have you had a moment that sort of reassured you, like, this is why I came to Notre Dame?
Every time in the weight room, that's why. Coach Bayless and all, like, he just remind me every time why I chose Notre Dame. I chose hard because I want to be great. Like, I want to be this humble man, this great man that came out of Notre Dame.
You smiling. You like that. Look at
we know how to recruit them.
I knew you gonna like that. I knew it. I knew. Look at
We know
you.
how to recruit because the thing is, not only are we good men, we could take our kids and you could go anywhere you want to any young lady's house and we will be impressive. That's the type of kids Marcus Freeman is recruiting. Would I let you date my daughter? And then he gets these great responses from guys, but he gets guys like Christian Gray who are very aware of who they are as a player. Just like Ben Morrison. He's very aware as a player of who he is. Jaden Mickey's the same way. They know who they are, and they don't need the validation of a NIL, of a super cool hot tub in the players' room. He's really got a core group of guys with Mike Mickens that's strictly about getting better and developing as a total human being.
Yeah.
Marcus Freeman sold that man the biggest bill of goods you can, and he bought it, and it's working, and it's working.
Now he was also asked about what's been the toughest part of transitioning for him, and some of the best advice he's gotten, which goes into what you just said, Left.
Without being out with my mom, like I always be with her because I'm a mama's boy and everything. So I just I miss her. So I think that was the hardest transition for her.
How often do you get a chance to talk to her?
Every day and every chance I get. So I be calling her every night. She be sleepy, be like, "What, Christian?" I'll be like, "I just miss you, Mom." So yeah.
What advice has she been giving you?
To stay humble, stay me, stay this goofy Christian Gray, this smart, intelligent man, and just work harder than anybody else.
Hey,
Notre Dame is number one in recruiting moms.
Oh,
and
always.
That's the product of what we get.
Always.
And that's what we get.
Oh, if we recruited moms,
one mom,
Notre Dame would have 10 5-stars every year. If Notre Dame was just recruiting moms, it wouldn't even be close.
If we would,
it wouldn't even be close.
His mom's so happy with what Marcus Freeman did. She's like, "Boy, if you don't go to school, I'm right here. I did my job. I got you at the right place. I can sleep good at night. You with Marcus Freeman up there at Notre Dame. You're good, son. I love you." They recruited me. I was sold. I committed. You committed. Let's do it.
That's that phone call like, "Son, I got to go to work in the morning." So unless this is something that you really, if I need to send you something, you need some money, what's wrong? Otherwise, we can talk tomorrow. I got to go to work. I got to be up at 5 in the morning.
I got grown folks thing to do tomorrow. You just want to hang out. Come on, baby.
You want to sit up on the phone.
I did the recruiting trip. I seen the touchdown Jesus and all your amenities. I seen them.
He's definitely missing the home cooked meals. He's definitely missing the home cooked meals. St. Louis kid, mom, she has 2 kids. Daughter goes to Ohio State as an athlete and Christian at Notre Dame. So, the second child always gets it worse. She probably was a little bit more emotional when her first child went to college. Now she's used to it. So now after dropping him off and going through the initial emotion, his mom is back to, "Man, look, I got to live life. I got to go to work. Look, text me. You could have texted this in the morning. You could have called me early in the morning. Like you calling me at 10, 11 o'clock at night to tell me I miss you."
And I'm sure when he gets older, it's gonna be a less and less.
Absolutely.
He's gonna start.
And then that's the difference. Then mom is gonna have a problem. Mom is gonna have a problem. Like, I didn't talk to you yesterday.
Junior year,
What's up? Right.
yeah, we missed our time. What happened to?
Right.
Oh, you was busy. You was hanging with your friend. Oh, okay. Well, don't forget about your mom. You know, I know you about to be an NFL great. You about to be drafted first, second round, but don't forget about your mom. You
Facts.
know,
Facts. Lucky Lefty podcast, man. Now, look, bro, this kid, I didn't know had this much personality. I didn't. I didn't know. I knew Christian Gray had personality. I knew a lot of the kids in the 23 class had personality because that was kind of the effervescent character of that class, right? But Devin Houston, man, he's another kid that
he's
I think,
Canadian. You know, they got Degrassi up there. He
dude,
got all the personality.
you know what? He might end up being the Drake of this program, bro. I'll break that down to you. But this is Devin. This is Devin Houston. His intro.
Learning that it's very, very tiring. I mean, just the day to day. I mean, it's pretty crazy. Getting up early. Not so much late nights. The one thing I will say is I've been going to bed the earliest I've ever have in my life right now. Like 9:30, 10 o'clock type bedtimes. But it's great overall though. I really like it.
And then did your brother give you any valuable advice before you got here?
Yeah, main thing he said was just stay the course. I mean, embrace who you are, embrace the challenges, embrace the struggles, everything, and just stay grounded in who you are and have confidence in yourself and stay the course.
Hey, bro, I can tell you what happened. This is how we spin it different. This is why we're the best, in my opinion, bro. Let's break down what that young man really said, dude. Right? Because he's one of those night owls. It's obvious. Matt Bayless is kicking his butt. Matt Bayless is kicking
Oh
his
yeah,
butt.
that's what I was saying. He was like, so for some reason it get late and I just can't stay up.
This dude, wait a minute. That dude has fallen asleep at least twice at his desk, sitting straight up.
He's falling asleep in class for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
For sure he's falling asleep in class. And he ain't used to that. He like, man, what is going on? Because I'm telling you, it's when the excitement passes after the third workout. And you realize you're like, oh my God, I'm really lifted and not feeling good the next morning. And I gotta do it again. And it's 6 a.m. every day. So you're like, this can't be what it's like all the time. Dude, the spring is not easy. It's way different than the summer.
He's definitely scared himself at least once. You know how you wake up and you scare yourself because you have no clue what time it is or what day it is?
Because he fell asleep at 8:30. He probably woke up like, oh my God, like now.
Am I late for workout? He probably thought it was the next morning.
He fell asleep with the TV on, homework half finished, beats playing all the way up. Yeah, he fell asleep in his clothes. He got back from the cafeteria and training room, whatever.
Facts.
It takes about 2-3 weeks before you like, man, I got the routine, but you don't. The sense of time is all off. When you just know when that sun up and when that sun go down, you go down, and it's just like that. Don't throw in no semester homework, no projects, no papers, because he gonna come back and be like, all right, hey, listen,
I get the full attention, right?
Oh man, he gonna come up there and be like, did you know this really only 24 hours in a day? I don't know how they be able to get all this done in one day.
Gino said, I bet he fell asleep in the South Dining Hall.
Like it almost is like, man, do I ever have a chance to go hang with real friends? Because you know, when your first couple of nights there, you're like, oh, this is college, so I don't have to go back to my room. I do whatever, but nah, you going back
bro. You better go get that rest, bro.
Hey, I'll see you in the morning, man. So for Notre Dame specifically, it's definitely a little different than what you would think like a Jesus Shuttlesworth recruiting trip.
Man.
On a normal day at college, it looked like.
Man. Lucky Lefty Podcast. I think we'll end it right here, Lucky Lefty Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, CFB Nation in conjunction with Irish Breakdown, Lucky Lefty Podcast on our YouTube page. Leave 5 stars, leave your comments. We respond to all. So Lucky Lefty Podcast. You already know we spin it different. Look, Devin Houston, you've been begging for swag on this team for a long time, left. And I think that's what we saw with Christian Gray. He has swag and personality. Devin Houston has swag and personality. And he was actually asked about that personality and his dancing skills. You know, he is a great dancer. He actually choreographs, is taking classes. He said it helps with his ability and his footwork, you know, and his pass rush and his skills on the defensive line. But he was asked whether or not he would have a celebration ready for his sacks at Notre Dame. This is what he has to say.
Oh, you're gonna see everything. You're gonna see everything. Mainly hip hop though, because you know I'm a hip hop guy. But you're gonna see everything. Definitely gonna pay attention to what's hot at the moment and everything. And yeah, it's gonna be great.
Would you say you're the best dancer already on the team, or it's really to tell?
We haven't had a dance off or anything like that, but I know the guys rock with my moves. So I mean, hopefully, yeah, everybody got a little something to them. So who knows? Yeah.
It's the way he said, yeah.
Don't be bringing all that. Don't be bringing all that Canada down here, man. As long as you ain't doing no big dude body rolling.
Wait, no. The big dude body roll is classic, though. You got to get one, dude. You got to get one in. Him, dude, that's classic. He has to get one big man body roll in. That's classic. That's classic. You got to get one. You say that one for like a big sack in the game. That's just classic.
I just know that he's going to be giving us a show. And Marcus Freeman gonna be like, "Hey, tone that down now. Tone that down." he gonna pull out his best move. I think he can do it. I mean, I haven't been around a teammate that was so open and confident about their dance move. We had guys that could dance, but he up there like, "Yeah, I can't wait till somebody challenge me in that locker room to dance."
Oh man, low key, Super Bowl 57 was the best collection of touchdown celebrations I've seen in the Super Bowl. Like, I enjoyed every celebration. I was like, oh, they bringing it today. They bringing it today. That cat, Travis Kelce, gave us the stankiest stanky leg of all time. The stankiest. I'm glad he was like, woo.
Do you ever find it funny how, you know, outside of us, everybody loves our throwback stuff, from songs to dances. Stanky leg was 2002.
Yo.
And Travis
kills the stanky leg, though.
He kills it like it was 2012.
Absolutely. But it's still banging. It's classic.
11 years.
It's classic. Like, I'm just waiting for somebody to return a kick and do the Soldier Boy like Devin Hester used to do it. I'm ready. Because you know it's coming back. It's coming back. I think that's what makes the music and everything great. Because dropped at the right time and executed the right way.
But Rihanna was mid, though.
Rihanna's
Super Bowl performance was mid.
She was all right. What did you expect? She doesn't dance, dude.
I expect her to dance. All right. Well,
maybe you've never seen her in concert. Then that's on you.
Rihanna's album needs to dance then. If she waited that long to get that type of performance.
Does she have? I don't think she has an album coming out, does she?
She said she was working on new music coming out.
Oh, well, she already has 2 classic albums, in my opinion.
Are you saying classic because she hasn't released anything outside of those?
No. Anti was classic. Now, we can debate anything else, but Anti was a classic album.
Anti was classic, okay.
And I'm not even a Rihanna fan. I got up on Rihanna sitting in the barbershop like, yo, who is this? Wait a minute, this is
Anti. Every song on Anti, you can play it through.
Every song on Anti was banging. Every song on that album was banging. Every one. And she's been gone for 7 years, right? It didn't seem like that long. 7 years?
No, she's been gone for a good minute, for sure.
That's crazy. Like, that's really crazy. That's really crazy. So, those were your grad transfers and your freshmen. I like the swag that the 23 class is bringing to the Notre Dame team, man. And for their first time meeting the media, they had a smile on their face. And hopefully they can keep that smile over the next few years as they play.
That's right.
For the Fighting Irish. Left, I guess we have to give them 2 additions today. Because I went at the NFL today. That was absolutely atrocious. That field yesterday was ridiculous.
That's because they overly painted the like the Super Bowl marks and stuff.
Man, I don't care what they did. 800,000 for that crap. Man, you know what time it is.
Petticoat, petticoat junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's petty historic? Petty Junction.
Petty Junction, pettiest story of the day, brought to you by Onora Whiskey at NoraWhiskey.com, that premium American whiskey at NoraWhiskey.com. Left, you know I had to put my boy on the petty train, bro.
Oh,
Patrick Mahomes Sr.
What you smoking on tonight? I'm smoking on that Philly Blunt tonight. Yeah, that Philly Blunt. You know, just chilling out, hanging out, man. Hey, great game. It was a great game.
Take me through your emotions watching that game. How incredible was that?
Well, it's surreal, man. I mean, your son gets to realize his dream, you know, a couple of times, you know, and this kind of solidifies, you know, his place and everything. So, you know, he's going to go out there and play the game the way it's supposed to be played. I mean, the way he was taught. So, you know, it's all good.
Was there ever a doubt? Were you worried at all?
No, man. You know, when he went down, he's come up limping a little bit. I got a little concerned, but once he gave me the okay, he gave me the thumbs up. I knew he was good, so I knew we'd be okay.
Let everybody at home know who the Super Bowl champs are.
The Kansas City Chiefs, and we're going to do this thing again, so don't worry about it.
Give everybody one puff. Come on.
Oh, one time on that Philly Blunt. Cuban stock cigar, that's what I'm smoking on.
He's way more entertaining than John Morant's dad. John Morant
better than T. Morant facts.
Yeah, he think he.
But see, wait a minute. His son actually wins titles.
But man, just imagine your son is Patrick Mahomes.
Man,
you the smoothest brother in the stadium. He's like, man, listen, I knew my son.
Have you seen? It's on my IG story. Have you seen when they finally saw each other and hugged that conversation?
His dad
like,
and him?
Dude, yeah. Like Pat was like in tears. Telling his dad, like, yo, I love you. I love you. And Pat Mahomes Sr. said, you different, man. You different. Like, man, I swear, like, I had to put it on my story. Like, yo, this is incredible.
Incredible.
This like the game and all of that, there was nothing better than that moment for those two.
Yeah.
On that day.
I mean, his dad probably is overjoyed, man. You get your son out there, and then Pat is just living up his dad's, legacy in a way,
Man.
Great to see. Need more of that.
I still have to put him on the petty train, though. That guy.
That Philly Blunt.
That's Philly Blunt. So, Left, have you ever heard of a cheerleader being ejected from a basketball game?
I haven't.
Well, here we go.
So he's kind of made his presence felt in the paint tonight. And Terry kind of nails both free throws. Layup up and no good by Thompson.
What?
And, the Alabama A&M coach, he's fussing and cussing. Yeah, and coach is kind of losing it over here as he feel like.
What is going on?
And they're calling security, not sure what's going on. And they're going to put one of the cheerleaders out of the game, it seems.
Oh my God, no way. 2023
Security
is
has
not
got
serious. Look
involved.
at it. Look at it.
And it's getting real heated here at R.W. Harrison Complex.
They're walking
They got the whole. Look at all the people.
And they're going
Look
to
at all that
escort
people.
one of the cheerleaders out. They say one of the cheerleaders walked onto the court. And they're going to say she has to go.
Oh man, what? See, that's the thing about us. We don't care where we at. It don't make no difference.
The commentators know. Shout out
Them
to the
brothers know.
student.
Them brothers know.
Shout out to the student commentators. Yo,
Them brothers look
Alabama,
like they
Alabama
know the girl.
A&M
They
head
probably know
coach
the
is
girl.
over here fussing and
Jess.
cussing.
They go Jess over there doing the most. You're gonna have to go
So,
get her out of here.
If we can show it again, we'll show you. This is Alabama A&M against Mississippi Valley State. And as we show it again, you can see the free throw. They circle the cheerleader. She's going through a celebration kick, and she's bumped by the player, right? So she didn't like it. So she waits for them to come back down court.
Wait, really waited for him.
She waits for them to come back down court. And she's looking. Timeout. And she's about to approach the player that messed up her kick. Like, yo, you messed me up. Even though he was legally taking the ball out of bounds. Yeah. So she's approaching him. He pushes him, says something to him. And she gets ejected from the game.
Like, what are we doing? Come on.
Dude.
You gotta be defending your pride all the time like that?
Bro.
The man can't even do his job.
I've never in my life seen anything like this, man. I've never seen a cheerleader thrown out of a basketball game for walking on the court and making contact with an opposing player.
And having a real attitude about it.
But leave it up to the SWAC.
Only in the SWAC.
Leave it up to the SWAC to make history, boy. That she was really mad.
No, like it was like
he interrupted
the basketball game going on.
It was a free throw celebration.
That needed to be seen, and you messed that up, dog. At
man.
your basketball game,
man. He messed up her celebration for the free throw, and she just had to let him know, don't do that again. Don't mess up my celebration again.
Yeah, it was like don't come down here and act brand new.
Don't take the ball out like you're supposed to. How dare you take the ball out? You saw me. You saw my celebration.
Oh, Lord, look. Hey, it's about respect nowadays, man. You can't just be, even the cheerleaders are demanding it now.
Lucky Lefty, great show. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more information. Tomorrow, we'll hear from Jaden Alsbury, Ben Minich, and others, the young players. And we'll dig more into the Andy Ludwig, and more than likely, we're going to play the interview with Salt Lake Tribune beat reporter that covers the Utah Utes, Josh Newman, tomorrow. All right. So we'll get back with you. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for tapping in. Wait a minute. Hold on. I want to make sure. Yes, we did have some more super chats come in. Truman Dumel said, real talk, is Lucky Lucky up for any awards? Y'all are simply super dope. Super duper dope. Literally every show is an Einstein class on Notre Dame football. Merci, guys. Thank you, bro. We appreciate it. And then Joe Papiti left. Legit question. Do they room freshmen with upperclassmen?
Do they move freshmen up? What does that mean?
Do they room our freshmen?
No. You get your one of your classmates. I don't even think you decide which one of your classmates you get roomed up with. Usually it'd be somebody in the same position room, or if you guys are in the same area, something, they'll group you. But I was fortunate. I came in with James Onawalu as an early enrollee, so it wasn't hard to decide,
Yeah. And as we had one of our chatters say, I was saving this to the end of the show. Rest in peace to Dave, aka True Goy of De La Soul.
Yeah, rest in peace, man.
That just came out of nowhere, bro. And it's funny because when I saw the performance, the Buddy performance at the Grammys, um, the fact that he wasn't on stage definitely stuck out to me. But kudos to them, the family, and everyone involved. Man, our prayers and our thoughts go out towards you
That's right.
and entire De La Soul fan base. And it's funny because their music is finally about to be streamed on all platforms after fighting with Tommy Boy for years. And 54 is definitely way too young. Way too young. So for Left, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Josh Newman, tomorrow morning, right here. Salt Lake Tribune, Utah Utes. Talking Andy Ludwig right here on the Lucky Lefty podcast. Have a great evening.